So you've been looking for a new construction home in St. Augustine, but you've been coming across a couple problems. Either that the price is too high, or it has a massive CDD for all these amenities that you're not even gonna use. Well, today what I wanna do is take you through the neighborhood of Maplewood by KB Homes. We're gonna take a look at this model home right behind me, and we're also gonna talk about the community, where it is, give you a full rundown on it. Let's go ahead and check out the house. I'm gonna show you a couple things that I really like about it and some of the things that I don't really like about it, and we'll go from there. And if you're looking for a new construction home in St. Johns County, you literally will not be able to find a cheaper base price for homes across all of St. Johns County when it comes down to new construction, because this is it, guys. This is as cheap as it gets when it comes to single family homes in St. Johns County for a new build. But I always want to start off with the good stuff, right? And then, of course, I'm going to be transparent with you. That's what I do in all of my content, is to give you the good and the bad, the pros and the cons on everything. But we're going to take a look at the plan, the 1638. And the one thing I really like about KB Homes is that they name all of their plans the square footage. So if you're thinking 1638 square feet, that's not a very big house. This layout is actually fantastic. And it's a 4-bedroom house that, sorry, I'm getting a call. It looks like I'm getting a call from someone that's interested in buying a house. This is a 4-bedroom house, but it could be a 3-bedroom with a den. And as of right now, they have it set up as that. So let's go in here. And that's going to be the first thing that we talk about when we come in, is this setup, which I think this is the way to do it. This is an upgrade to their original plan. If it is a 4-bedroom, they wall this off, and then the entrance to this 4th bedroom here goes around the corner here. But as of right now, they have it as a den, and you still have 2 other bedrooms in the side over here as well, which is another good thing because you're giving yourself a little bit of separation. You have all of the bedrooms up here, including the den or the office. You can easily, if you want to, at Design Center, put double doors on there. And then you have your kitchen, living room over here. And then on the back of the house, you have your master bedroom. So you have a good bit of separation between you and the rest of the house and whoever else is living here. So the bedrooms, it's 1638 square feet. So you're thinking, Tom, it's gotta be pretty small. The bedrooms share this bathroom, which is a decent size, but they're about 10 by 10. So they're not humongous bedrooms, but you can easily fit a twin bed in here, a queen bed in here, and you have a decent sized closet. It's nothing crazy. It's not a walk-in closet or anything, but it's a good size, especially if it's for a kid. So you have 2 bedrooms up here. It's gonna be the garage back here. So you also have this bedroom right here. It's about the same size. This looks to be actually a full-size bed, but you could fit a queen. I mean, just look how big the end tables are there. So your garage door right back there. It's just a 2-car garage, nothing to show you in there. But let's go take another look at another part of the house that I like. This house does come standard, and all of KB Homes come standard with 8-foot ceilings, right? But what they did, and it makes a huge difference in these smaller homes, is they added a volume ceiling. It doesn't really show that well. You can kind of see it because of the accent wall they put up over there, but it opens the space up a whole bunch. If you were to put that 8-foot ceiling in throughout here, it's gonna definitely make it feel a lot tighter. But I'm a big fan of this kitchen. If you've watched last week, I did another community of KB Homes called Sable Estates, one of my favorite master plan communities in St. Johns County. This color combination's coming back, guys. Brown cabinets are in, and you got the gold accents too. So I really love that. Nice white countertop, but it looks like they did the, what is this? I think it's called brushed bronze, maybe, something like that. Either way, I'm a big fan of it and how it plays really well with the wood here. Now, that's one thing in this neighborhood, is everything is to be built, right? You're not gonna find any spec homes. They're not gonna build any houses and say, hey, we have these for sale. They're just gonna do to be built. So you have to pick your lot, you pick your floor plan, and you also pick all of your finishes at the Design Center. And they have people to help you at the Design Center to do this. So like me going there, I'd probably go in blind and I wouldn't know what to pick, but they have people that help you out and tell you what matches well. You do also have a nice sized laundry room back here, which is right off the kitchen. So good size over here. And then you also have a pantry right here. But if I were to complain about something in this floor plan, yes, it's 1638 square feet. The living room is a little bit small, but it's also the furniture that they have in here. You could easily put the TV on that wall, flip everything here, and make it feel a little bit bigger and put a bigger couch in there, maybe an L-shaped couch in here that would make it feel a little bit bigger. But Let's go over to the master, and I think this is one of the things that shines the best. And just so you can kind of see it from the living room kitchen, it's just this empty space here. You go back here, you have a nice little linen closet here, but the good thing is that the master is separate. And for whatever reason, having this little separation of space between your living space and your master bedroom makes a huge difference. And this is a good sized master. This is a massive bed in here. And this is probably a king. It looks like an Alaskan king. This is a king size bed. So a good sized bedroom in here. And then also, you know, like you're saying, oh, this is going to have a small closet. Closet's almost as big as the bedroom, guys. I mean, it's definitely almost, if you probably take the square footage of this is probably about 5 feet wide, and it's probably about 14 feet long. So you're probably just about at the same square footage as what you are at one of those bedrooms that I showed you in the very front. And then of course you have your master bathroom. This is in the back of the house, and this is a model home, so you can't really see it. We'll go outside in just a second, but backs up to the water here. So we're facing west. You'll get sunsets over this water, and that'll be really, really beautiful. But master bathroom, nothing crazy, but you do have a double vanity in here. You have your toilet, obviously, which you don't need to see. And then you have a shower. You could do a tub shower if you wanted to. A lot of people are going with the shower these days, and a lot of the builders aren't even offering it. Then you have a nice little linen closet. So let's go into some things that I dislike about this floor plan, but it doesn't mean that you can't change it, right? So let's go out to the back here. Got your nice 6.5 foot slider here, goes out to your back pad, which is one of the things that I actually don't really like. So when you're back here, you don't have any, you can see I'm squinting here. My eyes are really sensitive when it comes down to this Florida sun. But as you see here, you don't have any roof covering over your back patio here. And it's a decent sized patio, but for me personally, I want to have that additional roof covering so that if I wanted to, I could screen it in. Now, that is an option on this floor plan. You can do it. Just like you could change that den into a bedroom or the bedroom into a den, you could do the same thing out here, and you can do the full extension of the roof line and put everything under roof so you have a shaded area and you could easily screen in. This is another model home. It looked pretty much exactly like this, right? So you could do that over there. Same thing. You could take it away, you could put it on, whichever you'd like. But personally in Florida, I think that is going to be the best way to go, because then you're going to, for resale value, you're going to be able to sell it to more people because people want screened in lanais. They want to be out of the sun here, but it's also just going to be better to enjoy. So this leads me to my next thing. And if you've watched my video from last week, I'll tag it up here. It's called Sable Estates. It's one of the best neighborhoods in terms of bang for your buck, what you get here in St. Johns County. The difference between this neighborhood and that neighborhood is that's in a larger master plan community called the Shores. This is its own standalone community called Maplewood. But the biggest difference here, you can see on either side of me, the homes are about 12 feet apart. There's not a whole bunch of space. Now, the one thing I will say, for the price that you get here, this is about as normal as all the other new construction in St. Johns County. You can go and buy a $600,000, $700,000 house. This will be about the distance between the majority of the homes. Now, this is in the northern part of the county. Land costs a little bit more up there. It's a lot cheaper down here, and I can't wait to tell you about the price here. But this is probably one of the biggest cons that I hear from a lot of people, and this is pretty much unusable area because when they build these houses, they build them on a swale so that water runs away from the house, doesn't go towards the foundation, so it runs right into the middle here. So this area, especially when it rains, will tend to get a little soggy, but at the end of the day, it's not that much space. All these homes are designed so that your view is drawn to the back. And we'll run back right back in here so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So when you come, we're back in the front door if you couldn't tell, but you can see how like this kind of draws your view all the way to the back. They don't put a whole bunch of windows on the sides. I actually think these windows in the dining room, they actually might be additional. So you might have to actually pay for them to get them, but you can see that everything is drawing your view to look straight back. Now, all of the lots here are pretty decent sizes when you're talking about the length of them. When you're talking about the width, it's not so great. Now, one of the really great things about this neighborhood is that it's going to be a no CDD neighborhood. And if you've been looking at new construction across all of St. Johns County, you know that there are a ton of neighborhoods that have a community development district that is an additional fee to your mortgage, your HOA, your taxes, insurance. It's going to be about a $2,000 to $3,000 additional fee depending on the neighborhood. Now, of course, that comes with typically luxury amenities, and they're really beautiful, really nice. A lot of places have 3-story water slides. They have massive pools, great fitness centers, kayak launches, all that great stuff. But if you're not looking for that and you don't want to pay for it, then I understand. And this neighborhood here is only an HOA community. It doesn't really have much, but it has a recreational field with a tot lot. It does also have a park in the very back of the community with picnic tables. And it's also going to be gated. It's not going to have a manned security gate, but it is going to be an electronic gate. So that does give you a little bit more privacy, and it keeps a little bit of the people out that you don't want coming in, or at least it's another barrier to entry. Now, one of the great things about this neighborhood is that the HOA is only $126 a quarter, not per month, per quarter. That comes out to about $42 a month. So in reality, you're not getting a whole bunch for it. The main thing is going to be that gate at the front. But if you're looking for affordable living, then you're really not going to find much cheaper outside of the St. Augustine shores, especially when we're talking about an HOA, which is just across the way over here. This neighborhood is going to have 155 homes in total. So it's going to be a pretty small, tight-knit community. And all the homes are going to be starting at a minimum of 43 by 125 feet long. So it's going to be 43 foot wide and 120 feet long, which gives you that space that I was showing when we were just outside. It's pretty tight, but at the end of the day, you're also getting affordability with that. So you're probably asking, like, Tom, you've been alluding to what the cost is of the homes here. In general, you have to factor in lot, you have to factor in upgrades, and you also have to factor in floor plan. And there's 6 floor plans in this community. They have 4 1-stories, they have 2 2-stories. So if you need more square footage, they do have a great 2-story option that you can get up to 5 bedrooms in. It's going to be over 2,300 square feet. But for the most part, it's going to be somewhere between $350,000 and $450,000. Unless you go crazy in design center and you add a lot more upgrades to your house than what most people typically do. So some of the base prices here for these floor plans, they have one as small as 1,200 square feet, and they have one as large as 2,384 square feet. So you're starting at that 1,200 square foot mark. It's definitely going to be a smaller home. They don't have a model to show you, but it's going to be starting, I think, at $308,000 just for the floor plan. Then you need to add the lot. The lot depends. If you're going with a lot that backs up to another house, it's probably going to be around $8,000. If you're going with a lot just like this one here that backs up to the water, it's probably going to be about $25,000. So you add that on top, and then also your upgrades. Most people spend about 10 to 15% of the base price of the home on the upgrades, right? So if you're buying, let's say the base price is $300,000, just for easy math, say it's $300,000, you're probably going to spend somewhere between like $30,000 and $45,000 on the upgrades that you're putting back into the house. So we're talking about upgraded cabinets. We're talking about the countertops here. We're also talking about the volume ceiling, maybe switching over the den, doing the lanai in the back. These are all things that are going to raise that purchase price up. But another big benefit of going with a builder and going with new construction, I know a lot of people aren't big fans of going with new construction and going with the builder, but one of the big benefits is that they typically offer incentives. So we're talking about a rate buy down. We're also talking about closing cost assistance. If you're buying let's just say a $400,000 house, your closing costs are going to be roughly about 3.5% of purchase price. So just to close on your loan, you're going to be somewhere around $14,000 just to close on your loan. That's outside of your down payment. KB Home says, hey, as of right now, we're giving you $7,500 towards closing cost assistance, and then we're also giving you an extra 2% of closing cost assistance from the base price. So if the base price is $300,000, you'll get an additional $6,000. So that'll essentially wipe out completely all of the closing costs that you would have on top of special rates. Now, all of those things you need to, talk with the builder, talk with the lender so that we can figure out what that rate is. And everything that we've talked about here, whether it's going to be the closing cost assistance, the rate buy down, the cost of the lot, some of the upgrades, these are all negotiable items in today's world. So we're going to put an offer forward, and I've helped many people do this with new construction, is we put an offer forward and let them tell us no. Let's ask them a couple times and get to a no, and eventually we'll get to a yes. But if you don't ask, you won't know. So this is one of the important things when it comes down to new construction, is that we need to ask about these things, because this is how you get the best deal possible. So we're here in St. Johns County. We're in the southern end of St. Johns County, which is definitely going to be the slower, more affordable end when you're looking at the comparison of Nocatee, Shearwater, Silverleaf. When you're looking down here, you're looking at more affordability, especially when the median sale price here in St. Johns County is around $500,000. This is going to beat it by hundreds of thousands of dollars. So we're here off of US 1, and we're just north of State Road 206. 206 is going to be the main east and westbound through the southern end of St. Johns County. That'll take you right over into Crescent Beach, which in my opinion is one of the best beaches in the entire area. That's where me and my family go to the beach. And it's also drivable. So if you have a 4x4 vehicle, you can drive on the beach. You can go south towards Matanzas Inlet. It's about a 4-mile drive to Matanzas Inlet from the Crescent Beach on-ramp. From this location here, you're about 15 minutes to that on-ramp, so really not that far at all. And if you wanted to go to downtown St. Augustine, it's going to be about a 15-20 minute drive depending on traffic. If you need to go to the airport in Jacksonville or the airport in Daytona, it's going to take you about an hour from this location. That's pretty much going to be all 95 the entire way. It's going to be pretty easy to get to. And then if you need to go to the hospital, God forbid that you do, we do have UF Flagler Health, which is right at the intersection of US 1 and 312. So all you got to do is hop out on US 1 and take about a 15-minute drive north, and you're at the hospital. And you're probably thinking, Tom, you said it's super affordable, so it's got to be in the middle of nowhere. There can't be any shopping or anything around. Not true at all. You go right up the street here, you're going to hit a Publix, you're going to hit a whole bunch of different restaurants and everything right off of US 1. It's all going to be in like commercial strips, but it's going to be right up the street here. And outside of that, you're only about a 20-minute drive to St. Augustine Beach. You're only about a 15-20 minute drive to downtown St. Augustine. So you're not necessarily in a food desert out here, but you are farther away from all the congestion, all the hustle and bustle, which really starts around 312 and US 1, St. Augustine Beach, and downtown, and goes all the way up to State Road 16. Now, I think this community is going to be great for pretty much anybody here, but because we are further south in St. Johns County, we're a little further away from Jacksonville, where if you do need a better, higher paying job, you're going to want to commute to Jacksonville. It makes it pretty tough there. So if you're a remote worker, if you're retired, if you're a snowbird, this could make a lot of sense, especially based off of the price point. At the end of the day, you could buy the cheapest floor plan in here and you could be done around $350,000. And you also have a gate here so you can lock it and leave it and not have to worry about someone being in your yard or in your neighborhood that isn't supposed to be there. Outside of that, if you're a family, if you're retired, if you're just a single person, the great thing is that you're close to everything. You can actually go to the beach in about 15 minutes. That's going to be really great. You go to Treaty Park if you have like kids that are skaters or something, or you want to play baseball or soccer or pickleball. Pickleball's huge now. Everyone's got pickleball courts. There's really not a bad person that this is for, but I could definitely see where it's like, if you are looking for that better paying job, you probably want to be a little further north, but at the same time, you're going to pay more than likely hundreds of thousands of dollars more for your home, for this size of a home, just further, we're talking about 30 minutes north. So guys, that is it. This is going to be the cheapest new construction opportunity in an HOA community in all of St. Johns County, but you're still close to the beach, you're close to downtown, and you're far enough away where you're not dealing with all the issues of traffic and congestion that comes with the tourism of living in a beautiful town like St. Augustine. So maybe this neighborhood isn't right for you. I do have a neighborhood tour playlist of tons of neighborhood tours right above, so you can check out those. If you have any additional questions, of course, you can reach out to me and my team. We do have a Calendly link below where you can schedule an appointment with me. We have a video call. We go over everything that you're looking to do and see if St. Augustine is right for you. Until next time, guys.